Brand new cabinet picks by President-elect Trump. Congressman Matt Gaetz has been selected to be his new U.S. Attorney General. Senator Marco Rubio is officially nominated to be the U.S. Secretary of State. One-time Democrat turned Republican, Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii has been picked to be the Director of National Intelligence. And late yesterday, Trump selected Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth, a decorated veteran, to be Secretary of Defense. I want to bring in Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. He's on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, the breaking news, the pick of Congressman Matt Gaetz to be the next U.S. Attorney General, your reaction?
Well, I was walking off the Senate floor just moments ago when the news was announced. You could literally hear the jaws dropping to the floor of Republican senators who are now going to be in a position to stand up to Donald Trump in a way that they have been unwilling to. I mean, listen, Matt Gaetz is dangerously unqualified, but that's not the worst of it. Gaetz has been Trump's chief defender when it comes to Trump's assault on democracy, his attempt to overthrow the government on January 6th, and he has openly called for the abolition of law enforcement agencies if they don't get in line with conservative political priorities. This is going to be a red alert moment for American democracy. Matt Gaetz is being nominated for one reason and one reason only, because he will implement Donald Trump's transition of the Department of Justice from an agency that stands up for all of us to an agency that is simply an arm of the White House designed to persecute and prosecute Trump's political enemies. This is a stunning announcement in some ways, but not surprising in others, because Trump told us during the campaign that he was going to use the White House to go after people who politically opposed him. And it seems that this pick for the head of the Department of Justice is very much in line with the promises he made during the campaign.
Senator, what do Republicans have now, assuming that McCormick is the winner of Pennsylvania, which I think everybody except for Bob Casey has acknowledged? 54 Republicans, is that right?
Well, I don't know. It may be 53 in the end. I mean, listen, there are some very decent human beings in the Republican conference who maybe didn't stand up publicly in the way that we had hoped, but they are going to be faced with a very difficult decision. Many of them know Matt Gaetz. They know the investigations that he has been under. They know the fact that he is, essentially a media celebrity who is just out to try to benefit and boost himself. We will see whether they do what they've been unwilling to do thus far during this calendar year, stand up for democracy, stand up to Donald Trump.
But ultimately, don't you think he's going to be confirmed? I mean, don't you think that all of the Senate Republicans are going to vote for President Trump's nominees? I mean, do you really think any of them are going to vote against Huckabee to be ambassador to Israel, or Tulsi Gabbard to be Director of National Intelligence, or Pete Hegseth to be Secretary of Defense, or Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General? I mean, can you name one Republican that will vote against any of those individuals?
Well, I mean, obviously, some of this news is breaking within the last 10 minutes. So, I can't come on air and try to guess about the votes of my colleagues. I will talk to them over the course of the next few days and make the case that maybe the most important nomination at this moment is the nomination for Attorney General, right? The entire credibility of government rests upon the belief that law enforcement is there to protect all of us, that it is an independent entity that is not just to be used at the political whim of the president. Matt Gaetz is being nominated because he will be and is today a political agent of Donald Trump. The ramifications of this pick, this particular pick, are stunning and potentially cataclysmic for American democracy. I hope that some Senate Republicans will see that.
So there's also another option, which we haven't discussed, which is that President-elect Trump has made it clear that he would like the Senate to adjourn so that he can make recess appointments. And the brand new Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, like the other two people he was running against, all three of them said, sounds good, like it. So it's entirely possible, unless there's some Democratic maneuvering that I don't know about, that they'll just adjourn, right? The majority will just vote to adjourn, and then Donald Trump will just say, okay, recess appointment, all these people, especially and including Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. No?
Well, I mean, that would be the end of the United States Senate. If the Senate chose to end its power of advice and consent and just allow the president to choose without any input, or confirmation process, or approval his cabinet, I don't know why we would continue to show up for work. That's not a democracy anymore. Our founding fathers would be, rolling over in their graves. So listen, this is all happening very fast, Jake. We are going to have conversations in the Senate, especially with the handful of Senate Republicans who do care about American democracy, and see if we can come to some conclusions to make sure that we preserve the power of advice and consent and try to find coalitions that can push back on some of the most dangerous nominees.
It's interesting that there are 53 or 54 Republican senators, and you said there are a handful that care about American democracy. I mean, that's the number you characterized, a handful, which means like 5 or under.
I think there are many Senate Republicans who sort of thought about Trump in the same way that a lot of his voters did, that he was talking this big game about overthrowing democracy, being a dictator on day one, using the Department of Justice to go after his political enemies, but he really wouldn't do it, right? There was, I think, a suspension of belief that was happening in parts of the American public, but also parts of the United States Congress. There's no way to suspend that belief structure any longer. Donald Trump is telling you, with the choice of Matt Gaetz, that he is going to weaponize the Department of Justice and fold it into the White House. Maybe some minds will change now that they are seeing that reality in full view.
Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, thanks so much.